Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash Live. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban on Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Good Tuesday morning to you, Dayan.
Good Tuesday morning to you and a good start of the month today, Tyler.
Yes, it is. August 1st, the first day of August 2023, almost through. And now we're into the final third of the 2023 calendar year. Tough to believe that is the case. You can always find us each and every morning, beginning live at 8:30 and running all the way through 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Comcast Channel 15, as well as on AT&T Channel 99 on your cable television stations here in the Greater West Bloomfield community. You can find us online on CivicCenterTV.com on our Watch Live page in high definition, on Facebook, Facebook.com/CivicCenterTV15, and on YouTube at Civic Center TV. In addition, you can always find us on the radio, 89.3 Lakes FM and LakesFM.com each and every morning as you're driving around the community, going to and from work, picking your kids up, dropping your kids off at camp, or soon at school as we're in the month of August. Those are all the places you can find us each and every day. And of course, we're replaying throughout the afternoons and evenings and always available on CivicCenterTV.com. It was a beautiful Monday, Dayan. What's the weather going to look like outside on this Tuesday?
So Tuesday is also beautiful, Tyler. It's a very beautiful start of the month as well. I don't know if anybody saw the beautiful bloody sun, but for the rest of the day, it's going to be partly cloudy, and the sun's going to stay up. The weather is going to be nice, a little less humidity than what we experienced in the past week. So we're going to probably experience weather of 79, so it's going to range between high 80s and the low 60s for the night. Going through Wednesday, it's going to be mostly sunny. It's going to be sunnier than today and very beautiful. Little less humidity than today as well. It's going to be also just a little warmer. So we're expecting 85 in the highs and lows of 65. Going through Thursday, partly sunny and also warmer than the day before. 86 is the highs and the lows of 66.
Yeah, yesterday a lot cooler outside, lower temperatures, very easy to go outside for a stroll and take a walk without immediately being drenched in sweat. That's not going to be the case throughout the rest of the week as we get warmer and warmer, and then eventually later on in the week get back down to a little bit more temperate summer temperatures here in the Greater West Bloomfield community. We have plenty coming up on today's edition of the program. Let's go through our latest news throughout the Greater West Bloomfield community. The West Bloomfield School District is seeking feedback on its 10-year strategic plan, how you can participate, have your voice heard as the school district makes its 10-year strategic plan. A West Bloomfield football star is on the move. We'll tell you who's going where in just a little bit. Once again, another star on the move to playing football on Saturdays. Beginning next year. Later on, some history in Keego Harbor. We'll take a look at some skating history in the heart of the lakes. The West Bloomfield High School robotics team is set to host its car show coming up in just a few weeks as a fundraiser for the West Bloomfield Atomigators team. We'll give you all the details. Later on, the Friendship Circle's Bassi Shemtov joins us as the Walk for Friendship event returns in late August. Going back to school, it's time to also go back to preschool. What parents should be considering as they're thinking about putting their kids into preschool or where to put their kids into a preschool program. Lauren Bogorad will join us on today's edition of the program. Later on, the DIA is placing replicas of many different historic art pieces all throughout Oakland County. We'll tell you all the places you can find those. How to protect your child online with resources provided by the Michigan Secretary of State. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office is seeking info on a hit and run that occurred on Saturday. We'll give you an update on that. They have determined what they believe to be the model of a vehicle that is involved. In addition, the Oxford High School shooter will continue his Miller hearing in court this morning, Tuesday, as they determine whether or not a life sentence is appropriate and should be up for grabs for prosecutors and ultimately the judge and the jury to decide at a later date. The Marshbank Music Series continues for its penultimate week on Wednesday of this week. We'll tell you who's going to be performing. The Keego Harbor Independence Fireworks also happening later on this week, and then plenty of more news and information from throughout the community. That's all coming up. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft, alongside Dayan Chaaban. The West Bloomfield School District is putting together its 10-year strategic plan for the community, redeveloping its school district, looking toward the future and what the West Bloomfield School District is going to look like 10 years from now and how that may also set up later on in the future. You have a chance to help provide your input to the West Bloomfield School District's Strategic Visioning Committee as well as the Board of Education over the next several weeks at a number of in-person and virtual and combined sessions. Those begin this week, August 3rd at 10 a.m. That's a couple days from now, Thursday at 10 a.m. at the ACS building in West Bloomfield off of Commerce Road. That is going to be the first of 4 of these conferences. So we know it's in the morning, it's in the middle of your work week. You may not be able to attend that one or have your voice heard at that particular session, but there's going to be 3 others that will give you a chance to also have your voice heard and continue to have a dialogue with the community, with the school district's Board of Education, and with their Strategic Visioning Committee on this matter. The second one that's coming up next after the one that's on Thursday this week, there's going to be another one on Tuesday of next week, 1 week from today at 7 p.m. That is the first of 2 that are both in person and have a virtual option as well. You can either join them at the ACS building, 5810 Commerce Road in West Bloomfield, or join them via their virtual option on August 8th. The same is the case on August 23rd at 12 noon. Here we have a QR code for you. If you scan that QR code, whether you're watching us live right now or if you're listening to us on the radio, watching us later on your screen, civiccentertv.com, or on YouTube at Civic Center TV, scan that QR code. That will bring you to a Facebook post that the West Bloomfield School District recently made about this strategic visioning community input. And in the comments section of that, you'll find different sign-up options for each one of these dates that has a virtual option so that you can participate. You'll get a link sent to you for that virtual option, whether it's over Zoom or Teams or another virtual platform, so that you can listen in on that conversation they have in person at ACS either on the 8th or the 23rd of this month, or also participate and have your voice heard in the comments or over voice and video as well. Here's that QR code. We'll keep that up there for you for a couple more seconds before we go back through these dates again. The first date coming up for these discussions is going to be Thursday of this week at 10 a.m. at the ACS building. Next week, Tuesday, August 8th, also at the ACS building with a virtual option. August 23rd, which is a Wednesday, that is at 12 noon at ACS with a virtual option, so you can participate, listen in the background as you're at the office or as you're running around town doing your errands on that day. And then the final seminar for this will be on September 5th at 7 p.m. That is Tuesday, September 5th, 7 p.m. at the ACS building. Translators will be available for that particular meeting, as it's the last of these 4 meetings between the community giving their input, the West Bloomfield School District Strategic Visioning Committee, and the West Bloomfield School District Board of Education. Translators available September 5th at 7 p.m. for Spanish, Arabic, and Japanese speakers. Again, all of these meetings are happening in person at the ACS building at 5810 Commerce Road in West Bloomfield. That's just off the corner of Commerce and Pontiac Drive as you're heading toward, on Commerce Road, if you're heading toward the Marshbank Park on Pontiac Drive, Pontiac Trail, you'll be heading westward out into the other side of Oakland County. That crossroads, Commerce Road and Pontiac Trail, is where you're going to find 5810 Commerce Road. That's the ACS building. Again, those dates, August 3rd, 8th, and 23rd, and September 5th. You can join in. And of course, more information always can be found on this and other chances for your public input from the West Bloomfield School District at WBSD.org. Other news from in the West Bloomfield School District, some exciting sports news coming into the fold yesterday. Just after our show, in the morning, just before our show, Jameer Benjamin, a star cornerback for the West Bloomfield Lakers football team, had announced that his commitment to Northwestern had been reopened. He had decommitted from Northwestern late on Sunday. A few weeks ago, Jameer Benjamin had announced that he was reaffirming his commitment, at least at that time, to Northwestern following a scandal that involved hazing incidences in the locker room at Northwestern University over a several years long period, implicated the then head coach Pat Fitzgerald, who since has been dismissed by Northwestern, and at that point in time, Jameer Benjamin had reaffirmed his commitment to Northwestern after he had changed his commitment from Stanford over to Northwestern, reaffirmed that commitment. A few weeks later, after discussions with the new coaching staff in place, an interim coaching staff in place at Northwestern, and some visits to other schools, he decided to reopen his availability for his services at the collegiate level. And ultimately, over the weekend, you see this picture, him visiting with Chip Kelly on the left, the head coach of the UCLA Bruins in California over the weekend. Clearly was a very successful visit, an exciting visit for the young man. He affirmed his commitment to the University of California at Los Angeles last morning. UCLA bound going into the Pac-12, or at least what's left of the Pac-12. Actually, by the time he gets in there, he'll be a Big Ten school competitor, moving from one end of the Big Ten to the other. Northwestern now going to one of the new teams in the Big Ten coming in next year when he begins his collegiate career at UCLA. Congratulations to Jameer Benjamin. We will see him on the gridiron with the West Bloomfield Lakers very soon. They're kicking off their season just 3 weeks from Thursday, August 24th, 7 p.m. at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic in downtown Detroit at Wayne State University. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have coverage right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Congratulations to Jameer. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, a look at some history in Keego Harbor, plus what the West Bloomfield High School robotics team is doing to bring car lovers together and raise funds for all their projects coming up this school year. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Many people are feeling overwhelmed and struggling with mental wellness these days. So be kind to your mind. Give yourself permission to breathe. Share your feelings. You are not alone. Have hope. Talk to a Stay Well counselor for free confidential help 24/7 through the COVID-19 hotline.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Some really cool posts from over the last 24 hours or so on Facebook we've seen with all this local history in Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake and also West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake Village. We see these all the time. A really cool post from in one of the Keego Harbor Facebook groups about an old business in the community. And this is an ad from the 1940s for Strong's Pavilion in Keego Harbor. This ad from back in 1946 at Cass Lake on Orchard Lake Road. This was a location, a roller rink on Dollar Lake, which is right near Cass Lake. And at the time, Michigan had been pretty well known for its roller skating rinks. Over 200 roller rinks were in the state of Michigan back in the 1940s. That made it really the second greatest day-to-day pastime in the U.S. at that time in terms of games that the general community would be playing on a regular basis, only trailing bowling in that regard at the time. Also, this was a location for some local hockey history as well. Back in 1947 in December, a game was held at Strong's Pavilion. First place Pontiac Braves took on the second place Arcadia Wildcats. The Braves ended up winning that game at Strong's and went on to win the playoffs that season. That concluded in March of 1948. So a classic location. Hey, if you remember Strong's Pavilion or you've heard some stories about that, go ahead, give us a comment on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and tell us some of your memories so those in Keego Harbor can continue to take a trip down memory lane and learn more about this. But a really cool post from Facebook we saw in one of the Keego Harbor groups. This ad again from 1946, a look back at some Keego Harbor history. Making history now today are our West Bloomfield Atomigators at the West Bloomfield High School. This is their robotics team. Really cool stuff that they do all throughout the school year, but they need your help, and in order to entice you to help them out with the funds they need to do all their great programming all throughout the school year, they're holding a classic car show and a classic exotic and other cars coming out to West Bloomfield High School on August 13th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. August 13th, that is a Sunday morning, August 13th, 9 a.m. to 12:30 in the parking lot at West Bloomfield High School. You'll see classic hot rods, Fords, Chevys, Dodges, Jeeps, and exotic cars are all welcome to this car show. Judging for the car show begins at 11:30 a.m. You can begin parking your classic cars, your exotic cars, your specialty cars beginning at 8:30 a.m. with awards being given out at 12 noon. To pre-register, it's $15. You can also get in for $20 at the door on the day of the event. Concessions will be on site and available for cash only. There'll be music, and all the proceeds will benefit the West Bloomfield High School robotics team in their efforts in 2023. Diane, this is a really cool program they have at West Bloomfield High School, as more and more of our schools are emphasizing those STEM, or in this case, as West Bloomfield likes to put it, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math in the classroom. These students taking that outside of the classroom with projects all throughout the year. Great way for you to help them.
I think it's a beautiful event, and it's a beautiful program as well, Tyler. It diversifies the academia. It allows those children to think beyond what they are studying actually in the classroom. Also, for the people who are going there, it's just a beautiful community event. You get to learn more about these cars, to talk to more people about their beautiful cars. I mean, I've been to a lot of similar events, and it's just a great family event. We go and talk to all these people about their classic cars. They're so passionate about it, Tyler, like all the things they put into it, all the money they put into it, and also all the engineering. So they do explain a lot about these stuff. So it's a pretty cool event. You'll also be helping those children gather all their funds, and you'll be having fun, so why not?
Yeah, a little less congestion maybe at that time on Orchard Lake Road. So those of you, I know we see a lot of these classic cars coming out in Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake for their Memorial Day parade. Maybe in this case, parade up Orchard Lake Road into West Bloomfield Township to the high school. Another great way to show that off. Plus, it's right around the Woodward Cruise time, and that kind of brings that more local to West Bloomfield, and it supports a great cause with the West Bloomfield High School Atomigators Robotics team. So again, that event one more time, August 13th. That's a Sunday morning. Parking begins at 8:30. The event runs all throughout the afternoon. That's going to be at West Bloomfield High School, 9 a.m. until 12:30 and you can support them for $15 pre-registering, WBSD.org, or $20 as you arrive on that Sunday morning. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, another great program supporting a lot of people in our community each and every year, and those programs often occur at the Friendship Circle. Bassy Shemtov will join us from the Friendship Circle in West Bloomfield Township to preview this year's Walk for Friendship event happening later on in August. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling. Win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. You can always stay up to date with us by joining us Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. for our live show, and join us all throughout the morning up until around 1 o'clock in the afternoon to see all the latest news and information throughout your community. Joining us now on the program is Bassy Shemtov from the Friendship Circle of West Bloomfield as we get ready for Sunday, August 27th at the Farber Soul Center on Drake Road, just south of Walnut Lake, for once again, though, the Walk for Friendship, celebrating inclusion and a supportive community right here in West Bloomfield Township. Before we get to Bassy and talk about this year's event, let's take a look back at last year's event so you can get a little taste of the fun and inclusion you'll experience in just a few weeks right here in West Bloomfield. Let's take a look.
The Friendship Circle is built on friendship. That's how it started.
Whatever we do, whether it's educational, recreational, we're always built on friendship.
Who's ready to give back to the community?
This is our 17th Walk for Friendship. This is an opportunity to bring our whole community together.
It is our families, it is our volunteers, it is our children, our amazing of our individuals with special needs. It's those friendships one-on-one that really makes Friendship Circle who we are.
You give to the Friendship Circle, you walk, and it gives back to the people, and it forms a real friendship circle.
It's just really very powerful. You walk around and you just see the magic, taking up an entire road, walking together. It's just incredibly powerful.
Friendship Circle is very important to me because this is the first camp that I found for my daughter. Every time she came, she was excited, and it gave me comfort. This is a very important program for our special needs community.
Just the positivity of it, it's kind of contagious.
Friendship Circle is awesome.
It has been just a year of growth and love and friendship and feeling of really one family.
We love Friendship Circle!
We will always be built on friendship, and it's our community that makes Friendship Circle this amazing.
The Walk for Friendship is Sunday, August 27th at the Farber Soul Center and walking to the JCC and later on to the Mears Center for the full celebration of the event this year. Joining us to talk about that is the Executive Program Director and the co-founder of the Friendship Circle in West Bloomfield, Bassy Shemtov, joins us now on the Splash Live. Bassy, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on because this is one of the favorite events in the West Bloomfield community for over the summer, celebrating a great organization that does a lot of work for our special needs community and even for the greater community here in West Bloomfield Township. For those that aren't familiar with the Friendship Circle, give us a little bit of a background on some of the services that you're providing right here in our communities.
Okay, thank you. That video just brought a smile to my face. The walk is really exciting. So the walk really brings together what Friendship Circle really is, and that is bringing the entire community together. Everybody really feels like they're partners to the hall program. And at Friendship Circle, we really pair up at the base children with special needs, giving an opportunity to teens from across our entire community to really reap the benefit of having that special connection of true unconditional love. We have our individuals with special needs are just genuine. They are a friend for real, not based on superficial qualities or descriptions of what society deems to be important. So that is one division. And then we have our adult division that is paired up with our adults with special needs or in our village. So we have recreational, social, educational programming. And then we have our adult division for where we train with vocational opportunities as well as where they could create art. And then we sell the art in our gallery and online and where we have our other pop-up shows. So it's like, as you mentioned, it's really for the entire community because we are giving the opportunity for anybody who would like to really understand the importance and the beauty of somebody that has special needs. You could come in, volunteer, be a part of this community, and be a part of the energy, as somebody else on the video shared, which is really something that everybody mentions when they come around.
And what I love so much about observing this event every year that I've covered it is seeing that these are some real genuine relationships that are being built from people all across the community, both in the special needs community and within that community, and from outside that community, joining them hand in hand on that day and beyond. You're forming these relationships, but also providing these opportunities in the community as well. And so the Walk for Friendship, how does that help to support these sort of programs all throughout the year?
So all of our programs, our weekly programs, throughout the summer, we have camp and overnight camp. So all of our programs come to about 10% of what actually the budget is for Friendship Circle. So our annual walk is really our largest annual fundraiser that takes a real chunk and helps us do what we do. So, you know, and there are many people that would need scholarships as well, but even if everyone paid what we charge for every program, it would only be 10% of our budget.
And so that's what's so important about getting involved in this walk. Not only are you celebrating an inclusive community and the message behind the Friendship Circle, you're also supporting this organization all throughout the year. So whether people are able to participate in the walk or not, what other ways are there that people can participate in the Walk for Friendship to, as you said, support these programs all throughout the year?
Yeah, and you know, the nice thing about the walk is you could go to walkforfriendship.com. You could sign up as a walker where it will not cost you any money. This is a free event, and that's really done intentionally because we want the entire community to be able to join, whether you could afford to give a donation or not. That's really not the only reason why we have this walk. It's a real time to open it up to the entire community and say, you want to be a part of our life, which is our children and adults with special needs. We want you to learn from them because they are making the world a better place. And then, of course, if you go on walkforfriendship.com, even if you can't make it in person, you can give a donation, small or large. Every dollar counts. Every dollar will help. So throughout the year, you could volunteer, or for the walk, you could come be a part of it in person, bring your family, bring your friends, and you will experience the energy that you will just love.
Bassi Shemtov joins us on today's edition of the Splash Live. Just a little ways away from this year's Walk for Friendship. It is again on August 27th this year. That is on a Sunday. It begins at the Farber Soul Center just off of Drake Road south of Walnut Lake Road. The walk then begins just after the opening ceremony at 11:30, about 11:45, walking to the JCC and walking to the Mir Center for the event that afternoon. Again, more information, walkforfriendship.com. They're looking to raise about $750,000, and at the time that we're doing this interview, they're about a third of the way there. Still plenty of time left to donate and to get involved. And Bassy, this is the 18th annual event. Last year's was the 17th. This year's going to be the 18th time that the walk has happened. Why center this fundraiser and this gathering of the community into a walk? Where did that story really begin?
When we first went in from our trailer into our very first center on Mir Center, 2005, is when we thought, we need a way for the community to be able to feel it and support it in some way. And that was just the best idea. The first year was pretty amazing as the first year, and it just keeps growing each year. And besides for the funds, it is so important for the community to know that they can be a part of Friendship Circle, a part of this incredible community by physically just showing up and walking.
And it's a way for the community in its entirety to get involved too. Speak to the partnership that goes into making this happen, not just from your team at the Friendship Circle, but from West Bloomfield Township, from other organizations throughout the community and individuals too, that make this happen and make this such a prolific West Bloomfield-centric event every year.
Yeah, and then all the corporate sponsors that join. What's cool about the Friendship Circle is that everyone can and does, whoever does support, whoever does sponsor, feels like it's their walk. It's not just some organization's walk and they're helping out, but it's their walk. They're a part of it. This year we're going to be having a great representation at all the plum markets for a week, really pumping up the walk, which I'm really excited about. This year, for the first time ever, we're doing a scavenger hunt that is going to be one cool event. Children, teens, adults will be able to race around finding our 7 different representatives of the divisions of Friendship Circle, of what Friendship Circle does. And once they find it, we're going to have a first prize, 2 runner-up prizes, where we're going to have significant gift cards for those 2 prizes. And then everyone that finds all 7 divisions will get the really one-of-a-kind, cool, beautiful baseball cap. Since 1994 Friendship Circle baseball cap. That's going to be amazing. So that's the first time ever. The walk is going to be energetic and fun, and really, most importantly, have an energy that will just give you a great feeling.
Bassy Shemtov joins us from the Friendship Circle. Bassy is the executive program director and the co-founder of the Friendship Circle as we get ready for Sunday, August 27th, beginning at 10:30 a.m. for registration and running all throughout 3 p.m. for the walk, for an opening ceremony, for the events. For more information can be found at walkforfriendship.com. That's friendship.com. Information on how to get involved in the event, raise some money, become one of the top walkers and the top teams fundraising for this event as they look to raise money to support all their programs for the next year over. And Bassy, if getting involved in the community, if the inclusion and the community nature of this event isn't enough to get people out and get families out there, there's plenty of fun events and a celebration at the Mir Center that are also on the back half of this event. Give us a little bit of insight on what people can experience at this year's event and what sort of fun families and individuals can have in our community.
We have some of the coolest rides. We have our great big zip line that I know the kids absolutely always love, the bungee jump, the animals. Again, the scavenger hunt is going to go through, free food, free t-shirt. I mean, you name it. You want to have a good time with your family. Come on, from the rides to the carnival activities to the face painting, the circus style small shows throughout the property. It is going to be a real fun celebration.
More information can be found on walkforfriendship.com. Bassy Shemtov, the executive program director and the co-founder of the Friendship Circle, joins us on the Splash Live today as we preview this year's Walk for Friendship. Bassy, another minute or so left before we'll need to move on today. Anything else we haven't talked about in terms of the Walk for Friendship or other ways people can get involved in the Friendship Circle all throughout the year?
If you know someone or have someone in your family that has special needs, we have everything from extra curricular activities for your younger children after school time, all day Sundays, and of course in the summer, which is almost finished, unfortunately. And then we have, if you have adults with special needs, we have great programming where you can sign up your child or suggest it to your friend. If you're someone that wants to volunteer, whether at the studio or in our village, if you're a teen that wants to volunteer, if you're a donor that would like to help support us, for any reason, friendshipcircle.org, reach out and we'd be happy to set up a time to meet.
Programs all throughout the year on friendshipcircle.org. You can learn more about this year's Walk for Friendship at walk4friendship.com. Bassie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. Walk4friendship.com is the website for more information. Sunday, August 27th at the Farber Center on Drake Road, just south of Walnut Lake Road. Registration begins at 10:30. The opening ceremony at 11:30. The walk at 11:45, and plenty of fun and events all throughout that afternoon leading up to 3 p.m. Walk4friendship.com. Plenty of more to get to on today's edition of The Splash Live. We'll take a break and come right back. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important.
And now the same is true in the face of flu.
Influenza has the power to infect millions.
But it's easy to protect yourself, your family, and your community.
The flu vaccine is safe and effective. And with COVID-19 still around,
it's essential. Together we can face flu season head on.
Visit michigan.gov/flu.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. As we head into the final weeks of the 2023 summer, we start to think about going back to school, but for some parents that might be sending your kids to school for the very first time. Usually that occurs with preschool. What should you be considering? Where maybe you should think about sending your kids to preschool? What parents should be thinking about right now as we head toward the beginning of the preschool school year. Joining us now on the program is Lauren Bogorad from the Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center at the JCC in West Bloomfield. Thank you very much for being with us, Lauren.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on because so much of the time that we spend this time of the year is thinking about sending kids back to school, but not often enough do we really consider sending kids to school for that very first time. And for parents, I'm sure many of them, especially those first-time parents, have a lot of questions right now as they're getting ready to send their kids to school. So how should parents approach that decision, whether or not it's time to start your kids in a preschool program, and what considerations they should be making as they come up on the time to make that decision?
Sure, it absolutely is probably one of the most difficult decisions that parents have to make these days. There are so many wonderful programs out there, but some things that parents can consider are, obviously, is the program conducive to your schedule? Are the hours conducive? Are the days offered options that are convenient for you? You also want to look at safety precautions. It's sad, but in this day and age, we have to think about that. Is it a secure entrance? Who's coming and going through the building? Are there cameras in the classrooms? Things like that. You want to think about their curriculum. There's so many different wonderful ways of teaching and learning for young children. And you want to make sure that it's something that fits with what your beliefs are. Also, things like teacher qualifications. Oftentimes, more qualified teachers produce better quality programming. And then you also want to make sure that you go in for a tour, watch for staff interactions with each other, interactions with the staff and the children. Make sure that it's a loving atmosphere for your child because, you want your child to be taken care of as if they were at home.
And in today's preschool landscape, we know that so many of our K through 12 school education programs have changed massively over the last several years, let alone the last 10 years plus. How has preschool changed in recent years along with that, and how does that factor into these considerations?
Sure. Oftentimes we find parents coming in who are thinking about, getting ready for kindergarten. Are they getting that cognitive growth that they need to get ready for kindergarten? They absolutely are, but we found that in early childhood, the main focus is social emotional development. Your brain develops from birth through age 5 tremendously in those years, and you really want to set up the foundation for a great future for these children so that they can go out into the world, entering kindergarten, entering elementary school, and be prepared for that.
Joining us on the program today is Lauren Bogorad, the director of the Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center located at the J of Metro Detroit, formerly known as the JCC of Metropolitan Detroit. You can find more information on their website, jccdet.org/Pitt-ECC, or just go to jccdet.org and navigate through to their Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center for more information, including on their preschool program. And Lauren, as we talk about getting ready to decide where to send your kids to preschool or if to send your kids to preschool, if that decision is made, if your kids are ready for a preschool program, they should be getting into this, get them prepared for next year to go into kindergarten, begin their K through 12 education. What should parents be doing now, as we're roughly a few weeks out, maybe a month out from school beginning at the time that we're recording this live? What should parents be doing to get their kids ready for that experience?
Sure. You definitely, once you pick a program, you want to start talking to your children about getting ready to go to school. Give them as much information as possible. Talk with them about their fears and anxieties to get them through that. There's some great books that you can read to prepare children for school. Also, setting up a routine, a nighttime routine and a morning routine so that they are settled and feeling peaceful on their way to school. And a lot of times we find that if parents set up some sort of goodbye routine, like, mommy's going to kiss your hand and maybe sing a little song as I leave, the classroom, that helps get them feeling more comfortable for that goodbye portion as well.
And what seems to be, or what tends to be maybe some of the issues that we may see with kids when they are leaving the home really for the first time for a significant period of their day, every day for the better part of the year, going into this first school experience? And how can parents best prepare themselves to cope with that themselves and to deal with those issues that often do arise with kids these age?
Sure. That's the hardest part, is oftentimes, the parents get more nervous than the kids do. The kids adjust very well. And it's the parents that we see having a harder time with it. So the same thing with parents, prepare yourself, get as much information about the program as possible. Even bring your child in, oftentimes you can do a trial day where you just bring your child in to visit. They can meet their teachers, they can visit the classroom. And do, a drop-off trial day just for an hour or two, just so that you have that experience of leaving your child for a short time. And then that, increases your ability to be able to leave as time goes on.
Joining us on the program is Lauren Bogorad, the director of the Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center located at the J of Metro Detroit. More information can be found at jccdet.org and navigate over to their Pitt Early Childhood Center link in order to find information on their programs. They're also having an open house coming up on August 9th at their environment. That's going to be next week, Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, August 9th. There's going to be an open house for their program. And so, Lauren, tell us about your specific program. You are with the Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center that does have a preschool program. Give us some information on that if parents are looking to explore.
Sure. So we are a program, we offer care for infants through pre-K, which is 4 to 5-year-olds before they enter kindergarten. And right now we are running a promotion for our preschool program, ages 2.5 to 4. If you sign up by September 1st, you will be waived your $100 enrollment fee and also receive your first 2 weeks of tuition for free. So that's a great savings for new families. We are a play-based program. The children learn through experimentation and play. And we are also child-centered. So we believe that the children promote their learning, and no two classrooms are the same. Every classroom is doing something different based on what the children are interested in. So it's a great program. Come check us out. Like Tyler said, we're doing the open house next Wednesday, August 9th, from 9 to 1, and then from 4 to 6.
And if parents are interested in this program, they want to go and attend the open house and maybe even get their kids enrolled in your particular early childhood program, how long does this program last throughout the year so they can get their schedules prepared?
Sure. So we are open year-round. Our school year starts September 5th, and we run through August of the following year. So we are a year-round program. And you can sign up at any time. There's open enrollment throughout the year.
And in terms of the programming, you mentioned it's young children of a variety of different ages. Are they all kind of mixing and mingling in similar programs, or are parents able to get their kids into programs for that specific age group?
Sure. So we group our classes by age group. We base our classrooms off of the September 1st cutoff that public schools do for entering kindergarten. So all of our infants turn 1 throughout the year, toddlers turn 2, so on and so forth. So yes, your child will be in a classroom with their specific age group.
More information can be found on jccdet.org. Navigate over to their Sarah and Irving Pitt Early Childhood Center link for more information. Again, that open house is happening Wednesday, August 9th. That is a week from this week, Wednesday, at the JCC. More information, again, jccdet.org. Lauren, before we let you go, anything else we should know about your program or any other considerations parents should maybe be making as they prepare to enter their kids into a preschool program or begin exploring preschool programs that perhaps we haven't discussed?
Sure. I mean, the biggest thing is just, go with your gut. There's many wonderful programs out there, and any understanding program will know that you need to make the choice that's right for you and your family. So make sure you check out all of the options. Come check us out. We're a great program. We have staff who have been here for years. We have great longevity, and we'd love to see you.
Lauren, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
jccdet.org is their website for more information on their early childhood program, as well as their open house happening on Wednesday, August 9th. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, art spread throughout Oakland County, courtesy of the Detroit Institute of Arts. Plus, we'll have information on how you can further protect your children online as they wrap up the summer season, head back to school in the fall, and protect them from things that they shouldn't be seeing online, and for things that you want to protect, other things you want to protect them from, all courtesy of the Michigan Secretary of State's office. That's coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. The Marshbank Music Series is still underway, which means there's still time to bring a chair or blanket to enjoy a show on the lawn with your friends and family. Stop by Marshbank Park August 2nd and August 9th between 5:30 and 8:30 p.m. to enjoy WB Park's Marshbank Music Series. Go to parks.org for more info. Rock on!
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3.
find her.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiver.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. This is Dayan Chaaban alongside Tyler Kieft. So the DIA, the Detroit Institute of Arts, is placing replicas of beautiful art all over Detroit and Metro Detroit area, and in our area as well, in Oakland County. So here are some places you can see all these beautiful replicas of art in our county. The E.L. Johnson Nature Center in Bloomfield Hills. And we got the Kloss in Clawson, Commerce Township, White Lake, Pleasant Ridge, and Oakland County Community College. So these beautiful replicas, they're running now through October. The DIA has placed these historic pieces in spaces throughout southeastern Michigan. It's a beautiful place. It's beautiful replicas of the art that has been made before, and they're really incredible to look at.
Yeah, if you go to their website, Diane, on dia.org, and you navigate over to their Inside Out page, you can find maps like we had up on screen there in Calvin. If you can show one of those maps again, we got a couple of them. One from Oakland Community College, which shows their various campuses all throughout Oakland County, and the different places on those campuses you can find these different pieces of art. In the top right corner of this particular map, you see the Orchard Ridge campus. That's the one up on Orchard Lake Road. Up by the 696 entrance ramp. You can also find other ones nearby in the Lakes area at the Highland Lakes campus as well. And so 4 of these different pieces at the Orchard Ridge campus, 3 at the Highland Lakes campus, and then another set of 4 at Auburn Hills, 3 at Royal Oak, and 1 on the Southfield campus. But plenty also spread all throughout Bloomfield Hills, as well, the E.L. Johnson Nature Center, several of these spread throughout that facility, that landscape as well, and then those other locations, Clawson, Commerce Township, White Lake, Pleasant Ridge. They also have a number of maps available on the DIA's website, so you can see all these locations and go really on an art scavenger hunt all throughout Oakland County. A really fun thing for families to do while the weather is still nice outside. The DIA's Inside Out program happening each and every year, and it is back, began just about a week or so ago. Other news making headlines throughout the greater West Bloomfield community, really across the state of Michigan. The Michigan Secretary of State's office wants you to know that they have programs in place to help you protect your children online. Look, it's a summer season. We're coming toward the end of the summer, but maybe your kids are done with camp at this point. Maybe their summer jobs are coming to an end. Those hours are reducing. They're getting ready to go back to school. They're at home trying to fill that time. So what do? They pick up their devices. They go on their cell phones. They go on their laptops. They go on the internet. And there are some things on there that, of course, you want to protect your kids from. That's your right, and that is frankly your responsibility. Maintaining internet safety for children can be a daunting task, but you can also work with the Michigan Secretary of State's office through this program called Protect My Child, Protect MI Child, and put your children's email addresses, their phone numbers, and their social media usernames. Those can all go into this registry on the Michigan Secretary of State's website that helps to block these sort of spam materials that may be more adult-themed or inappropriate for children of certain ages. That it blocks those from being sent to them, or at least makes that a lot tougher for those to get through their email addresses, get to their social media feeds, and to be contacting them by a cell phone. You can get involved in this program and get your kids registered at protectmichild.com. Protectmichild.com is the place to go. And Diane, this is a really important program being provided by the state of Michigan through the Secretary of State's office, as more and more children are spending so much time on the web, on their devices, and that puts them at risk with the free speech that is available on the web, and that includes more adult-themed or inappropriate content. That this protects children here in the state of Michigan from seeing that by using this information that is available to them, their email address, their cell phone number, and their social media, protecting those really 3 pillars of their internet usage right here in our state.
Tyler, unfortunately, recently, and I don't know if you're seeing this and everybody is actually observing this more and more on Instagram and on Facebook, we are seeing more and more of these adult stuff. And that's truly horrible, especially for children. I mean, I am an older adult and it's still kind of horrible because here's the thing. Sometimes they are masked as normal accounts. So sometimes you follow this account with some nice memes or like even cute animal pages, and all of a sudden they switch into adult themed pages promoting adult stuff. So it's highly inappropriate. It's a great program, and it's a great thing that they're doing this. They're blocking all these spammers. And here's the thing, another advice for families and for parents themselves, other than these programs, watch out for what your kids are doing online. Follow them. I know your kids are trying to hide from you, especially on social media, but try to create these, even if it goes as far as creating a fake account to follow your kid or what your kid is doing, protecting them from not only these spammers or these adult pages, but also from predators online, which is also a huge deal. I think we did have someone on the Splash Live and previously who talked about this stuff. Protecting your children online is very, very important. Keep an open mind. Also keep an open conversation with your children. Do not scold them if they come and tell you, hey, somebody's talking to me online. Make sure you always tell them it's okay to come back to me and tell me what you're seeing or what you're doing or who you're talking to. So it's a great program, and parents should always keep a lookout.
Yeah, important to take that responsibility as a parent, because ultimately it is your responsibility to be able to monitor your kids on these devices. Usually you have bought these devices or are providing that access to your kids. And look, we want to be able to have free and open speech, and people can do whatever they so choose and consume whatever media they so choose. But in the case of parents and children, the best way to protect them from things that they shouldn't be seeing is to do the protecting yourselves and enter these kinds of programs that are available to you, such as Protect My Child. That is, again, protectmychild.org from the Michigan Secretary of State's office to register your kids' cell phone numbers, their email addresses, and their social media handles through that registry, and protect them from this sort of more adult-themed content. We'll keep it right here with a few more stories before we wrap up today. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office, we have an update from a story we reported on Monday's edition of the Splash Live. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office is still seeking information on a hit and run that occurred Saturday morning in Pontiac. This occurred just after 12:45 a.m. on Saturday morning. 59-year-old Todd Lawrence Frank was walking in Pontiac on Auburn Avenue near South Astor Street when he was struck by a SUV heading southbound. That SUV fled the scene, making this a hit and run. Later, Frank was rushed to the hospital where he had died. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office this morning had announced an update on the story. They believe, based on the investigation of their Sheriff's Office crash investigators, that a Chevy Traverse was the SUV involved in this hit and run accident on Saturday morning. They are saying the model year for this Chevy Traverse was between 2009 and 2012. If you have any information, you are encouraged to call 1-800-SPEAK-UP or contact the Oakland County Sheriff's Office and provide them with any information that may help to solve who is involved in this hit and run, which is a deadly hit and run in this case, with Todd Lawrence Frank, a 59-year-old from Pontiac, losing his life as a result of this incident. Hit and runs may result in sentences upward of 15 years in prison and or fines, and it is a felony on the record. Again, 1-800-SPEAK-UP is the line that you can call to provide any information you may know. Lastly, a big story this week continues to be a big story here in Oakland County as the Oxford High School shooter continues his Miller hearing today. That is going to be that's a hearing that's based on determining whether or not it is appropriate for this person, in this case a teenager, to face a life sentence in prison based on the circumstances in his life that may have led to him committing the heinous crime that he did in Oxford in November of 2021. That began last week. It's resuming today. Oakland County Circuit Court Judge Kwame Rowe will determine in a written ruling sometime very soon whether or not it is appropriate for this now 16-year-old shooter to face life in prison potentially. What is a Miller hearing? This is direct from the Detroit Free Press. Randy Essex had a great article on this and explained it's a mandated hearing as per the 2012 Supreme Court ruling in Miller versus Alabama that requires that juvenile murderers may not automatically be sentenced to life without parole, without a hearing that determines, how much did nature and nurture play a factor in this, home environment, mental health, mental capacity. If that's the case, that those were such an impact that it's not appropriate to sentence this person to life in prison at the maximum for their sentence, then that would be waived. That is still in determination. In terms of counseling services, those are provided for those in Oxford and in the connected community with Oxford through Common Ground. Extended hours through today, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At their location on Lapeer Road in Oxford, Michigan. 248-65. Go to allforoxford.org for more info on these counseling services. Live.